and then we'll fill for a minute so that we have, we're sure that it's recording. Let's see here. Ooh. When we went to see Dune, I saw the trailer for Uncharted. I've never played an Uncharted game, but that looks really good.
All I know about is that apparently people are upset because it's Spider-Man and not Nathan Fillion. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion is old as balls now and would not be good in the role anymore.
I have not played any of them. One of them, I think 3, came with my PlayStation 4, and I've been too busy not having time to play other games to even crack that one. I have this is sad. I have video games I have not played, but I started Jedi Fallen Order, which turns out is actually really hard. I went online to look up, like, why am I dying all the time? And somebody's like, yeah, it's the Dark Souls of Star Wars. I'm like, oh, thank you, Mom-in-law, for getting this for me.
And it actually is. Like, it's set up to play like a Dark Souls game.
Oh, goody. So it's not just people using the word Dark Souls.
No. Like, when they say this is the Dark Souls of whatever, they mean it's very hard. But in this specific case, they mean it is a Souls-like, dressed up like Star Wars.
Yeah. I can see why people don't necessarily like Dark Souls, because I play games to have fun and not to, like, punish myself. That being said, I've kind of taken with it. I just haven't had a whole lot of time to play it. I'm in this unusual situation where I have more games than I have had time to play them. So,
Brian, I hate to point that out. That is literally everyone that has games.
Yeah, I know. But I remember being a kid and getting a game and sitting down and playing through it until it was time to play another game. But that was before, real life. So, I get it. Chifuji mentions in the chat he's been playing extensively or gacha games based on anime. I must admit, I play more games on my phone, largely because my phone goes with me wherever I go. So...
Ouch. Okay, well, that's almost 3 minutes of recording. So now we know it's recording. So here we go. Ow, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. How did I manage to get my leg wrapped in my headphone cord in this particular manner?
Magic.
Like, you might be right. This is some This is some sorcery. How did I do this? Okay, so while I untangle this, hi, I'm Chewy. I'm the lead dork. I got these other dorks here. This is the Mana Pool number 636. Okay, you guys talk while I unwrap myself.
Hey, I'm Brian. I'm the lead Rambler, Tangent Master guy, and I guess I just got to tell Chewy that the Kama Sutra is not an installation guide for Windows.
What? Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, what was that? That was a tape measure. That my cable unwrapping knocked off into the floor. Okay. Anyway, next.
All right. I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and game lore guy, and I have to remind Chewy that the Rand McNally World Atlas is not an installation guide for your headphones.
And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And I really don't have anything to add.
Come on, man, you just gotta think of a book.
Oh, a book?
Yeah.
Dirk's like, everything else is an installation guide for Windows.
We'll see if the heroes can gather on for Olympus.
Okay, then. Oh, hey, Chifuji just resubbed for 30 months. It's 30 months. Should have been subbing longer. Aw. Well, that's very sweet of you. Wolfie said he's running Windows 11 and it works. AMA. No. I will not run Windows 11 until it's been out for like a year, like a sane person. Maybe 2. I haven't even done the latest round of Windows updates yet because it always screws with audio settings and I don't feel like having to fix them. Which, when the odds and ends for this episode eventually go out, you'll hear Dirk had all kinds of audio issues, presumably because of Windows updates.
Really, it took me back to the good old days. And by good old days, I mean, the dark ages. Remember how many episodes we had to cancel just because we were having technical difficulties?
Probably
Probably not as many as we should have, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say there were several that we should have canceled because things weren't working, but we're stupid.
Mm.
I prefer stubborn.
Us or the problems?
Us. The problems are stubborn too. But so
All right, as always, Neverending Preview season is here because it's never ending, so it's always here. But now it's back in active mode.
Yeah.
We got a good few weeks off. Not as many as we should have because these 2 sets are coming out squelched up together. Because reasons. I'm still waiting to find out if they're gonna push it to 5 standard sets a year. Because, people are just taking to this like no problem. But then I have a very low opinion of Wizards of the Coast these days, so...
If people will buy it, then they'll do it. So
exactly.
And now it's literally a shtick with the double feature. These sets are really close together because they tie together. So isn't that awesome? And there's not an outcry, or if there is, I haven't heard it. Granted, I'm not as tuned in as I used to be, but if people buy it, they'll keep doing it.
Yeah, so previews for what's it called? Innistrad Crimson Vow. Started today because it's Thursday. That's when we record the show. You should come watch live on twitch.tv/themanapool. Usually between 8 and 8:30 Eastern time. Like at night. Because these losers all have day jobs. Losers.
Yeah.
Who has a day job in 2021?
I do.
Oh, yeah. So, that's that.
Yes. So, Crimson Vow.
Yay. Not to be confused with the Red Wedding, apparently.
No.
That's a different thing.
No.
But not really, but sort of.
Kinda, sorta.
Kind of, sort of.
I mean, it's a wedding, and it's very red. Olivia Volderan is marrying Edgar Markov, which, granted, they're both really old, so it's not like robbing the cradle, because just because he has the visage of an old man does not mean that she's not centuries old. So, sure, love is kind, love is patient, love is all those great things. But it sounds like she might be, I don't know, bewitched him or something. So I guess we'll find out more as previews progress. But meanwhile, thanks to the events of Midnight Hunt, it's perpetually nighttime on Innistrad. Yay! That will have no repercussions whatsoever.
Wait, really?
Yeah. The story with Midnight Hunt ends. The good guys, so to speak, were trying to use the big sundial thing It was a legendary artifact in the last set. It's this giant MacGuffin in the ground that, of course, we've never heard of until now, to basically restart the sun, the moon, the day-night cycle, since Emrakul like messed it up, and they were at the end of the ritual, and Olivia showed up and was like, "I'm gonna take this now," and she took a component of it, and so it was basically Innistrad is stuck in the off position, so, or the night position. So, and she's like, "Bye bye, I'm gonna get married now," and she killed a bunch of people too. There's that. So it reminds me a little bit of the old, if you remember when Magic was 3 sets, generally the story was first set sets up the story and introduces the conflict. Second set, things get worse, and then either right at the end of the second set or the beginning of the third set, it's the darkest hour. So that's where we are now. So, classic storytelling. So, do we want to do mechanics first?
Oh yeah, always.
Always. All right. Hey,
So,
Dirk.
let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
You awake?
I am.
Do you like humans?
No.
I love humans.
You
Sometimes.
love humans.
Oh, you meant in Magic, didn't you? Okay.
Well, in general, but yeah.
Sometimes.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about training? Training is kind of the quote unquote human mechanic for the set.
Well, there is this new ability called Training, and it says, whenever this creature attacks with another creature with greater power, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature.
Didn't they? I should look this up before the show, but I just kind of made this connection. I feel like we've seen very similar stuff to this before.
It was said in the Discord that this is like the inverse of Mentor.
Mentor. That's exactly what I was gonna check, because Mentor is when this attacks, it can pump up a smaller creature, right? So a mentor creature and a training creature actually don't go all that well together, because you're still pumping the training creature, so it'll just grow up really fast. That's fine, but you need to keep pumping the mentor creature as well. But this is a really easy.
There's some way that you could transfer those counters onto something else. Which I don't think there's anything in the set that does that.
Well,
but
we've only seen
it is something to think about.
We've only seen a handful of cards. There could be, but if you want to go old school, when in doubt, power conduit, right? So, or is that only artifact creatures? It might only be artifact creatures. Power conduit.
Giant fan.
Giant fan is like this. Is that it's the misform ultimus of like trivia answers. How do you move counters around? Giant fan.
Yeah, it's always giant fan.
All right, power conduits.
Should be any creature.
Yeah. Tap, remove a counter from a permanent you control. Choose one, put a charge counter on target artifact, or put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Just wanted to see if it said artifact creature or not. So there, power conduit. Power conduit plus training equals awesome.
I love the way that actually doesn't equal awesome in any way, but sure, okay.
We're getting there. But
it equals interesting, and that's important.
Yes.
Sure.
So, I mean, but training itself is very straightforward. When this attacks, is it attacking with a creature with higher power? Who cares about toughness? We're only caring about power. If the answer is yes, then put a +1/+1 counter on this.
Ding.
Boom. Ding. I think there's some cards that care about when this creature trains, but for the purpose of the mechanic, you got it.
Interesting. And our example here is a 2 and a green, 1/4 with reach and training. Nice and simple and obvious, and has a nice big ass, so it can keep attacking, and hopefully stay alive while other bigger things get played to keep pumping it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another example.
Oh yeah.
Below that. Very similar, except this one has flying.
And
Yeah.
is a 2/1.
Yeah.
But the evasion makes it less likely to slam into things, so it should keep surviving, to keep
Yep.
training, to keep getting bigger, to keep hitting things.
I mean, thinking about just in the context of limited, because constructed, this is way too slow. But you play this on turn 3, and then maybe you play 3 3s and 4 3s following up with that, and maybe those are trading on the ground. If they are, hopefully they're trading up. But meanwhile, this keeps getting bigger to the point that they have to kill it or they die. So yeah, not bad for a solid little common. I also think the design of glyphs on Innistrad is really interesting. They're not like mounts really anywhere else.
You're
Yeah,
a
they got the
griff.
swan heads.
Yep. Yes to both of those comments. All right. So
Oh god. Okay, now we've got the dumb name. This is a great mechanic. It's a really stupid name.
This is basically the kicker kind of sort of variant, except not really.
Yeah.
This is Cleave. Cleave is only on sorceries and instants, and it's an alternate cost. So there's the usual cost for the spell and the cleave cost. And the best way to describe it is really with this example. So I'm going to read what the card does, and then we're going to go to cleave. So dig up for a single green is a sorcery. Search your library. Oh, and it's rare, by the way. Search your library for a basic land card. Reveal it. Put it into your hand. Then shuffle.
That's amazing for a rare.
That's just the best. I'm like, why have we never printed this before? This is amazing. And it's not, to be fair, all sarcasm aside, it's not bad. It's clearly wouldn't be a rare. But so what does Cleave do? Cleave says, and Cleave for this is 1, a black, and a green. So 4 mana. And as the reminder text, you may cast this spell for its cleave cost. If you do, remove the words in square brackets. Well, Brian, why didn't you read the square brackets? Because that's dumb, and I'm not doing that. Yeah. So if you pay 1, a black, and a green, instead the sorcery says, search your library for a card. Put it into your hand, then shuffle. So it's Demonic Tutor.
Diabolic, since it costs 4.
Since it costs 4. Oh, okay, yes.
Dig up cleaved since it costs 1 black, green. Don't hit me!
On the surface, you might go, well, the regular version of this, the not cleave version, that's okay. But it's just okay. The cleave is great, but that costs 4. Is that really what you want all the time? Why is this on a rare? And the answer is because this card is always what you want. This card is always what you want. Early game, you need that land, or even later in the game when you're like 1 away from whatever you need, or you need to fix your mana. Boom, for a single green, it's done. It's not great, but it's done. It's exactly what you need. And later in the game, when you're like, I need to draw whatever, this is literally whatever you want to draw. So the only awkward time is maybe somewhere in the middle, but even then, hopefully if you're not already losing, you take a turn off to go get whatever you need. I'm not saying this is an amazing card. I'm just saying this card is very efficient at what it does, and it's almost never going to be a dead draw. Except if it's your, green-black deck and this is in your opening hand with 3 swamps, then I don't know what to tell you. But that's just bad luck. So I'm very curious to see more cleave cards.
I'm very curious to hear their excuse for why they named it Cleave.
This doesn't really... That is a very good point. Nothing about this ability...
The flavor is that it says it right here, they're chopping words from cards. but no.
But Cleave, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, like when I first read the title of this section, Cleave, my mind immediately sprang to, like effects and abilities in this game and other games where you can hit more than one thing at once. I'm like, oh,
Yup.
okay, that's weird for a keyword mechanic, but
I didn't really go there, but I definitely thought something to do with damage, destroying things. Not really thinking of destroying cards, words on the card, but
Yeah, Wolfie says in the chat, I thought it was going to be spell trample. Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
like going to Gatherer and typing in Cleave, we get like Butcher's Cleaver. Okay, that doesn't count. Cleaver Riot. Creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn. Double Cleave. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. The Ember Cleave, which gives double strike. Let's see. Minotaur Skull Cleaver has haste and gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Ogre's Cleaver +5/+0. Slayer's Cleaver +3/+0, and must be blocked by an Eldrazi if possible. So, like, they're all about combat and either double strike or just dealing more damage. And then, yeah, let's not even get into, like, Hearthstone, where Cleave means it hits the enemy that it attacks and enemies to the side. It's just more combat damage. And in this, it's like, yeah, Cleave, we're cutting words off of the card. What? Like, I've seen it twice now. Once in our Discord and once in this very chat that says it should have named it Redact. And 14 said, I think it was 14. 14, it was you, right? In the Discord, that if this was a Dimir mechanic and it was named Redact, it would be perfect. And I was like, oh my god, that is good. Like, that's really good.
Or Inkquill, the school from Strixhaven, Redact works perfectly because it's words.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
But in this, like, in Magic, you think Cleave and you think hacking. You don't think kicker.
Yeah.
Which so many of the mechanics that are on, instants and sorceries are fine. They're just variations on kicker. Like, that's not the criticism. The criticism is it's a really stupid name.
I guess it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers you, but it's not super intuitive for me. I'll give you that. So.
And also, it doesn't parse well. Like, this is one of those, again, like playing Cleave cards on Arena, it'll show you two versions. It'll show you search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And then it'll show you search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. There's no need to, like, manually in your brain remove the square brackets and have to read it 3 times. But when you're, seeing it in paper, like in your first draft, you're like, what does this do? What does this do? Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay. And, like, it just doesn't read well on paper again.
Yeah. And the issue there is that this effect, if it wasn't done with Cleave and they had to print the text, twice, once with the normal text, one description of the normal effect, one description of the upgraded effect. Even this card would be kind of pushing it to fit. They wouldn't be able to have any flavor text, certainly. And there might be other stuff that they wanted to do with this that absolutely wouldn't fit in the text box, depending on how hard they go. We haven't seen any others. I haven't seen any others.
Yeah. I really think that this is Wizards, like, showing off how clever they are without any sort of regard for how it actually plays.
No, it's fantastically clever. It's amazing.
It is gloriously clever.
Yeah, it's awkward to read.
Yeah. I guess I don't have the issues with this that you do, but that's because I think the Johnny part of me almost kind of likes this implementation of like, ha 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 ha. But a lot of it also depends on how is it implemented? Because this is one of those, like, this is the opposite of training, where training literally does the same thing every time. And the biggest question is, what creature is it on? Here, this is so open-ended that it could really mean anything. So, what was the the there was some card, was it Dam? Where, no, it wasn't Dam. Where
Piss?
oh, it was the Unmake or something, where it was altered to just be like
Indicate.
Indicate, yeah.
I was thinking of that too.
Yes.
Target permanent.
Yeah. Yeah. See, we've already been doing this. Just now they're doing it too. They're getting in on it.
Oh man.
I want to see something like Indicate on a Magic card.
I don't still have Indicate open in a tab. I had it open in a tab for a very long time so I could just randomly send the link to clues. So that you see what's happening with Mike right now, that would happen. But apparently I closed it, and that makes me sad.
Yeah. So I'm very curious to see what Cleave cards come next. But that's Cleave, apparently.
No, chat has our back. Chat has our back on this.
Oh, did they give us Indicate? Yay, there we go. Oh crap, you can't see it. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, Indicate. Target permanent.
Yeah.
You.
You.
Markov.
Yes.
This
love
is this is some of the best cleaving you'll ever see.
There you go. There you go. I'm telling you, Wizards is just getting in on this. So
thank you, Donovan Bain. We needed that.
all right.
Like the first time I saw this, I was like, "What?" And then I got to you, Soren Markov, and it all clicked. And I think I almost fell out of my chair.
I think that was pretty much my reaction as well. So
it's like Indicate, target permanent. I don't understand you. Oh. Yep. Anyway, whoop, wrong page. All right, so that's Cleave. Yeah. All right, we have another token. So now this gives us 3, right? We've got clue tokens, which are what? Draw card.
Yes, I think we've got 4. We've got
we've got
treasure, food, and clue.
Yeah, now we have blood,
which is a combination of food and clues. If you're a vampire.
Yeah, well, just flavorfully, it's the red one because it's rummaging. There we go.
Oh yeah. I was just being silly, but you're absolutely correct.
So, blood tokens, it's a new token artifact. Subtype blood. Pay 1, tap, discard a card, and sacrifice this artifact to draw a card.
Note that discarding a card is part of the cost. So, if you have no cards in hand, you cannot activate your blood token.
Correct. Oh, wait a minute. 14 says clue, food, treasure, shard, and mask. What are shards and masks?
Nico, the planeswalker from Theros who showed up in Kaldheim, makes shard tokens.
Does anyone else? Because if no one else does, it doesn't count.
I don't think anyone else does. And then Mask is, I think, another Planeswalker specific type of token. There are many, many, many tokens. We were just talking about like the ones that seem to be showing up with greater regularity.
Yeah, these recurring token artifacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they gave up gold for
treasure.
For treasure, right?
Yeah. Yeah. In original Theros block, I think we had things that made gold. Because they were super flavorful, and it was like the Midas touch kind of stuff. That, just exile that creature, you get a gold token. And then I think they thought treasure, which came in with Ixalan, that was Pirates and Dinosaurs, right? was more versatile. So yeah.
Yeah.
So now we have blood. Which who knows if this will go beyond the set, because vampires. But
yeah, I was gonna say it's too bad that they named it Blood, because that seems to lessen the chance that it will be evergreen like treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Not that food. Have we seen food again since that's it?
I thought it showed up on something.
It did, but it did. Mike, yeah, I do I think it showed up in like Modern Horizons 2.
Okay.
So I think it showed up, but not in standard. But who knows? Time will tell. I think food is versatile enough we could see it again.
Yeah. So then we have a couple of we have a card here, 2 versions. Gluttonous Guest. For 2 and a black, it's a 1/4 common vampire. When it enters the battlefield, create a blood token. And then, whenever you sacrifice a blood token, you gain 1 life. Notice it doesn't care what you sacrifice the blood token for. So either the ability on the blood token or some other thing that's to sacrifice an artifact.
Yep. Notice... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You were going to say something related to the card.
On the enhanced version, or whatever you want to call it, the premier card version, I don't know what the word for that even is.
The fancy
anymore.
version
the fancy version
is harder to get.
Has fangs on either side of the name, and then upturned fangs at the bottom of the card. I like that cool little touch. Yeah.
Yeah. That card actually has me worried about something else. Christine Sprankle tweeted a picture of this card and said, "Why does this look exactly like me?" And it does look exactly like her, and that's got me afraid that maybe the artist is using her as a model without her, getting paid for it or any sort of, permit, because it's more than a passing resemblance. Like, this is straight up Christine Sprankle.
It's uncanny.
Yeah.
I'd have to see the 2 pictures side by side. I'm just not that observant, but she knows herself, so...
Showcase, that's the word for fancy version.
So
you can tell we don't pay attention anymore.
Yeah. I'm familiar with Christine Sprankle, Miss Sprankle.
Steve. Just call her Steve.
I don't think I will.
That's a good call. Don't do that.
But I do like the card treatment here. Yeah. This is definitely one where I think I prefer... There's a lot of promo versions where I prefer the original art. I think I prefer the promo version of this one, the showcase version.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully not actually using her likeness without her permission.
Hopefully.
Daybound and Nightbound are back. Because, can't really not have werewolves on Innistrad. Just because we had a bunch of them. And this is kind of a neat little thing. It's a common werewolf. The example here is the Weary Prisoner.
Aww.
For 3 and a red, it shows a dude chained up to the wall. He's harmless, right? And he's a 2/6 with Defender. He's not hurting anybody. He's daybound. The flavor text says, "Your guard attacked me. He got what was coming to him."
That's like, really good for a creature with Defender. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. And then it flips into... My computer being slow. The Wrathful Jailbreaker. It is a 6/6, so the 2 power goes up into the 6 power. And, fittingly, Wrathful Jailbreaker attacks each combat if able. And now I'm coming for you. It's such a simple thing. It's a common card. But this is just, in my opinion, done well. Because I love the symmetry between... This can't attack at all to has to attack all the time forever. Rah, rah, rah. And the image on the card is great. So, again, not going to be the highlight of the set, but I appreciate a card like this. And I can see why they get them chained up. No offense, man, but back in the hole.
Oh, and look, the day and night reminder card is back. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, and that's it. All right.
Yep.
Oh, and look, Disturb is back.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, Disturb before was on humans that turned into spirits. Now, they're already dead.
Hey, Mike, what's this card do?
The Dracula Infantry is a 2/2 Spirit Soldier for 1 and a white. Good stuff. 2/2 for 2. The Disturb cost is 3 and a white. So as a reminder, you can cast these creatures with Disturb from the graveyard, transformed with the Disturbed cost. And on the transformed side, this time, instead of just a more different creature, this is an aura.
That's cool.
Dracula Armaments is an enchant creature aura that gives the enchanted creature +2/+2. And like all other stuff with Disturb, if this would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So you can't just rebuy. You can't just keep rebuying it over and over and over again.
Wow, that's really neat.
Yeah. So the front half of these cards with Disturb is now they're already spirits, and they come back as something else. The one that they showed during the live presentation and this one are both auras.
That's what it says. The ones in this set are spirit creatures on the front and auras on the back.
Okay, so they're all auras in the back. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, the infantry says he swore to protect the moorlands. A little thing like death was no excuse to break his oath. See, because he's already dead. And on the back, it says, when he could no longer carry on, he imparted his strength to the one who took up his duty. Aw.
Sweet.
Have a little ghosty boost. Boasty goose. No, that's the one from the video game. Right. Never mind. Cool. And hey, look, Exploit is back. That's been a minute, right?
It's been a while. I'm looking up exactly when it came up last. You're going to beat me to it, aren't you? Go ahead.
I mean, it probably appeared in one of the Modern Masters sets, but otherwise, it was a main, for real thing way back in Tarkir block. Now, I can't remember whether it first showed up in the middle set. Wow, I'm blanking on the names. The middle set of the third set. What the heck? Was the middle set Dragons of Tarkir and the last one was Fate Reforged? No, the middle set was
Fate Reforged, yeah.
And the last one was Dragons of Tarkir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks like...
Got some more help from chat, so...
Dragons of Tarkir.
Yeah, this was the Sultai mechanic of Dragons of Tarkir.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, Brian.
Yeah.
I know you love creature types that
I'm fond of them, yes.
That go together, like creature types that like vampire dragon.
Yes.
So tell us about this card.
So this is the Rot Tide Gargantua, which is just a cool name. And for 3 and 2 black, it is a 5/4 common creature. And it has exploit. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a creature. Notice it doesn't say another creature, so I guess good to know. When Rot Tide Gargantua exploits a creature, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Seen these sorts of effect before, usually when this enters the battlefield, everybody sacks a creature. This just has that built in. But if you want to play this and just have a 5/4, you can just have a 5/4. And by the way, it's a zombie kraken. Which, yes, I appreciate you letting me have that, because I read that line. I'm like, that's cool. I only wish it was like a little bigger. Krakens, you tend to be a little beefier, but that's fine. That's fine. It's a zombie kraken. It's cool.
I was playing HOTS with Gothic earlier, and Gothic was like, man, just when I think that Wizards has thrown every combination of weird creature types at me, they give us a zombie kraken, and I went, ooh, and he sent me the image and I went, a common seems like a horrible waste for a zombie kraken.
Maybe we'll get another one. But see, now that almost sounds like a challenge. Now I almost want to make that into like a show. What is the weirdest combination of creature types you can make, and then what would that creature look like? But I'm a big fan of Simic, so maybe I'll just do that and get back to you about it. But yeah, but again, 5/4 for 5 zombie kraken that, if you want, can also make everybody sack a creature.
What do you mean if you want?
I mean, you don't have to. It's
Oh, it does say you may
may.
sacrifice a creature. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
it's always may.
My brain
Exploit is
completely was like, it says you gotta exploit. When
You're probably gonna do it a lot, but just like if this is your only creature, and you don't want to cast it as a 5-mana Cruel Edict, then you don't have to.
that doesn't seem very good. Unless you're dead next turn, but
Unless
still.
you're dead next turn, yeah. Well, I've got this Progenitus.
5/4 on the board won't save you. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Now that it doesn't need to breathe, its hunting ground extends well beyond the sea. And that's interesting because we tend to think, oh, breathing, not drowning or, not being in the sea. But it's referring to the fact that the Kraken doesn't need to breathe under the water. So you're like, oh, good. That fish can't get me. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's true. Like if human zombies can walk around on the bottom of the bodies of water, and not be any worse for wear, why couldn't a kraken walk around on the land?
Yeah.
And not be bothered? Because same principle.
Yeah.
When you take a kraken out of the water, it drowns in the air. That's just what happens.
It's true. I think I heard somewhere. This is a side topic, but maybe science people can tell me. Isn't it true that every time you die, regardless of what kills you, you always die of lack of oxygen to the brain? Because literally that's what happens. Whether your heart stops working and thus it can't get the oxygen there, or your head gets cut off if you're, I don't know, in a magic game and is it not true that literally every time you die of oxygen deprivation, or is that not the case? Questions.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is this like lethal damage doesn't kill creatures, just dunks kills creatures?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just remember hearing that somewhere and being like, okay, I'm not a science person, so maybe. But
Well, if you're blown up, that is not true.
but Dirk, your brain doesn't have oxygen anymore.
Well, your brain is no longer in one piece either. So
Exactly. So it has no way to,
Oh my god.
get oxygen.
All right, let's get
Let's
look
keep
here.
moving.
Indicate. You.
All right. So that's what was in the mechanics article. They previewed a couple other cards in the live show, and I guess a couple others have been previewed in various places as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna use Mythic Spoiler because it happened today, so the card image gallery has not been updated yet.
Yeah.
We have another set of dual lands.
Yep.
Are these a different version of Tango lands? Is that right?
This is the other half of the cycle that was that was in Midnight Hunt.
Oh, yeah. So they enter the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands.
Yeah.
And these are the enemy colored ones. So Shattered Sanctum, Dreamroot Cascade, Deathcap Glade. I like the name there. Sundown Pass. Ooh, I like that one too. And Storm Carved Coast.
And they said during the show, you can note on the art that, true with what's happening in the story, you won't see the sun on any of these. Because, nope. All of these are amazing, and I like the fact that they are using these generic terms so they can be reprinted in other sets other than Innistrad. But I have to say, I think my favorite art of these is the Sundown Pass.
That is really pretty. Excuse me. I just like the name Sundown Pass. Ooh.
Yeah. It's almost evocative to me of like almost like an old Western kind of thing. But I think that's part of it is it can mean a whole bunch of stuff. So. And while we're still on lands, there's also the Volderan estate. For those of you that are fed up with today's housing market and the inability to find low prices anywhere, we suggest moving to a desolate castle. Well, it's not desolate. A castle in the desolate mountains?
You really hung on that word, aren't you?
Desolate. The Valderran estate can be yours for the low cost of no mana because it's a land. It has 3 abilities. First is tap for a colorless land. Yay, colorless symbol. Second ability is tap, pay a life. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a vampire spell. And then finally, for 5 mana and tap, create a blood token. This ability costs 1 generic mana less to cast for each vampire you control. So if you're having a party at the Volderan estate, like a wedding, you might get some blood for very low cost.
Yeah, I like the idea of tap, create a blood token. That feels pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
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 Not bad.
I like it. Then you got a lot of the stuff that we had seen.
Let's see. Thalia's back.
Thalia, the original Thalia.
Yeah, Guardian of Thraben.
Yeah. This is the one that was pretty popular in standard and I think modern, right?
And Legacy.
I mean, she only
Or
costs
playing different taxes, but
she's just super efficient, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Soren is back, looking just absolutely not happy at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like how he looks like super angsty in this.
I mean, even his name, Soren the Mirthless. Oh, he's got no mirth. And then you look at the expression on his face, and you're like, oh yeah, don't talk to him.
Yeah. You can tell he's invited to the wedding and he's there because they pointed out on the show, this is like the first depiction of him without armor on. Because he's pretty much always...
At a big vampire wedding, that'd be the ideal time to wear armor. Especially if you are just the worst, like Soren Markov is.
I mean...
Well, you don't want to look stupid among all those high society folks.
I mean, on the one hand, he is surrounded by his family, and his grandfather was literally the source of all vampires on the plane. So, on the other hand, it seems to be knowledge amongst the vampires that he made Avacyn and, like, you know, kind of put them on pause. So, he's the black sheep of the family. So, I don't know. But maybe he feels relatively secure. And when in doubt, he can always just peace out and literally leave. So, I don't know, but he is not having this party.
Not at all.
Yeah, he's even like, it looks like he's just like hanging out outside with a drink, like away from the music, and everyone else is like,
Yeah.
See, Mike, this is why I didn't come to your wedding, because I would have been Soren the Mirthless, but without the drink and with a mask on. Like, not because I was not happy for what was going on, just situation everywhere else.
This does not have the alternate arts for this card, but there are 2 alternate arts. One that's a regular showcase card, and then one that was done Chewie.
Amani. Hang on, Amani Kojima.
Yeah, which I knew you would like because you've been on a Castlevania kick.
It's true, yeah. It's. I guess we'll show that off next week, or if someone can find me a link real quick, I'll throw it up there. But yeah, they actually got. Well, when you say the Castlevania artist, everyone knows what you mean.
Yeah,
because she did the art for Castlevania, starting with, was it Symphony of the Night or Rondo?
But
all the way up until, oh god, I think the first one she didn't have anything to do with was Dawn of Sorrow. The second one with oh god, what was his name?
Soma,
yeah, the second one was Soma Cruz. Thank you.
But I get a real strong Alucard vibe from the alternate art, and that is not a
whoa,
a
what? Why did that happen? I'm just trying to get it on the screen, and I can't get it on the screen. Everything is awful all the time. Okay, look. Open image in new tab. Boom! There we go. And we zoom out. There's our Alucard. I mean Soren.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, someone pointed out, oh my god, this looks this looks like Alucard. They're like, you think that was on purpose? I was like, they literally got the artist who made Alucard look like that to do it. Yeah, I think that was on purpose.
Yeah. So what does the actual card do?
Oh yeah, we haven't even said that, have we?
No. Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody tell me what a card does. I haven't read it yet myself, so go for it.
All right. So this is Soren, the Mirthless. He costs 2 and 2 black. Soren is sometimes mono black, sometimes he's white and black. He is so mirthless, he is totally mono black here. He's just like, nope, not doing it. He's legendary. He comes in with 4 loyalty. So 4 loyalty for 4 mana. Plus 1 loyalty. Look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card and put it into your hand. If you do, you lose life equal to its mana value. I like that it gives you the choice. It's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
-2. Create a 2/3 black vampire creature token with flying and lifelink. So it's almost a vampire, not Nighthawk.
Almost.
But
almost. It's 2/3 of a vampire Nighthawk.
It is. Probably 4 mana, make Soren, and then crank out 2 vampire Nighthawks might actually be dumb.
That is a bit much, yeah.
Yeah. And then finally, -7 limit break. Soren the Mirthless deals 13 damage to any target. You gain 13 life.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. It doesn't necessarily win you the game on the spot, but yeah. Yeah, I like this card. It's not the most like Johnny Tastic. You're not like, oh, how am I going to use this? Well, gee, let me think. How am I going to use this? I'm either going to crank out vampires, or I'm going to use a lot of card selection and eventually hit you for 13.
Yeah, I like this a lot. It's solid. It's not going to break standard.
No.
I don't guess.
No, but at 4 mana, it's also not like unreachable. It's not like one of those that you're like, oh, this is cool and it'll never get played. It'll probably will see some play. But it's not offensive either. It's not like gonna break anything in half.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Now I gotta recenter everything for. There we go.
Okay. So what else we got?
Hell, I don't know.
How about Olivia? She's one of the centerpieces of this set.
Yes.
Mike.
Return of the Dong. I mean, what?
Sure. So Olivia here, she's the Crimson Bride. Costs 6. 4 a black and a red. For a legendary vampire noble who is a 3/4 with flying and haste. 6 6 for 3/4 flying haste. Pricey. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, also mythic. So this is probably going to be pretty good. Whenever Olivia attacks, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking. It gains, when you don't control a legendary vampire, exile this creature.
Huh.
So she raises these thralls that stick around for as long as you have a big boss vampire to control them.
Yeah, whether it's her or not.
Yeah.
And the thralls are attacking immediately. And they don't have the, when this creature would die, exile it instead rider.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to attack and then sacrifice at will.
Yeah, if they die, they just go back to the graveyard.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, and because she has haste, that's a very nasty surprise right when you play her. You can just run something out there immediately.
Dang. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So depending on how, if there's anything silly big, either in this set or some of the other adjacent sets, that could be an interesting reanimator strategy.
Mm-hmm. Think it's a pretty solid contender for Commander?
Oh yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Commander loves legends that are great to play over and over again.
I like that a lot. Another card I like, this one I have read, the Volderan Bloodcaster, right next to her.
Right next to her? I wonder if you have yours organized differently.
No, that's a double face card. So the card right next to her is the double, is the backside.
I have Soren on one side of her and Dig Up on the other.
So see, you did not use the link I sent you. Bad Brian.
Nope. I already had it up. Anyway.
The Volderan Bloodcaster is a 2 mana, 1 and a black, 2/1 vampire wizard that's rare. It has flying, because vampire. And whenever a Volderan Bloodcaster or another non-token creature you control dies, create a blood token. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Something dies, get some blood. That's how life works.
Yes.
Whenever you create a blood token, if you control 5 or more blood tokens, you transform the Volderan Bloodcaster. And she transforms into Bloodbat Summoner. Yeah. A 3/3 vampire wizard with flying, who says, at the beginning of combat on your turn, up to 1 target blood token you control becomes a 2/2 black bat creature with flying and haste in addition to its other types. So it's actually a blood bat creature.
Mm-hmm.
And the flavor text is, humans throw rice and release doves at their weddings? How quaint. Because it's a vampire wedding, so they're throwing blood and releasing bats. Duh.
Kind of want to see the token for the blood bat, but I think we're seeing most of the art right there. So
probably, yeah. But yeah, I really like this card because it turns out blood, and then later it turns your blood into bats that punch people in the face.
Yeah.
With haste. So it's not like at the beginning of combat, I have this bat. Go. No, it's got haste. Otherwise, this card would be stupid.
And you get the transform right when you make the token that qualifies you. You don't have to wait until the beginning of your upkeep to come around or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So as long as you can create a blood token that's your 5th one before combat, hey, then you're good.
Yeah. I like this one.
There's something this card doesn't say.
Until end of turn.
I mean, it doesn't say that, but...
Right, so it stays a bat.
Is that it? Because, yeah. Turning a bat back into blood seems kind of dumb.
Good job, bat. Now back in the vial.
Yeah, right?
Squeak.
Oh, okay. That is what he meant. It just seems powerful. Okay. Yes, that it does, which is why I like it.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it's only, one. But it says up to one target blood. So if attacking with a blood bat would be stupid, or having a blood bat would be stupid, like, your opponent has, I don't know, a pyroclasm effect or something.
Or you're about to wrath.
Or you're about to wrath.
reason.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to turn your blood into bats. You can hold it to be blood. Which I like that little bit of extra flexibility there.
Side note, I don't know that I've ever said the words blood and bat so much in the same conversation.
That means
Blood
this
bat.
is a quality episode.
It's true.
Okay, what? I really wish my chair would either die or shut up.
What do you think of Dorothea?
Dorothea?
Dorothea? There's an extra O in there.
Yeah.
Dorothea, yeah, Dorothea. Thea? It's one of those.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
You do know that Dorothy has that O too, right? Both of those O's.
Does?
Dorothy? Yeah.
I don't think I've ever known a real-life Dorothy in my life.
Okay, then. The only Dorothys he knows are in his head.
So, Chewy, have you read this card?
I have not.
Then you should read it out loud right now.
Okay. Dorothea, Vengeful Victim, for a white and a blue, is a legendary spirit that's a 4/4.
Yep.
For 2 mana with flying. When Dorothea, Vengeful Victim attacks or blocks, sacrifice at the end of combat. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, because it's a 4/4 for 2 mana.
Yeah. And it has Disturb of 1, a blue, and a white. All right, what does it disturb into? Dorothea's Retribution, which is another enchant creature aura. Enchant creature aura. I don't know why, but that didn't sound like it came out properly in my head. All right, and the enchanted creature has, whenever this creature attacks, create... Oh my god.
Yep.
Create a 4/4 white spirit creature token with flying that's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice that token at the end of combat. And, of course, if it would be put in a graveyard from anywhere, exile Dorothea's Retribution instead. Isn't that Geist of St. Traft?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
St. Traft rides again.
What the hell? Except you get the 4/4 for free the first time.
Yeah.
Well, not for free, but, without St. Traft at all.
And the disturb cost is only 1 a white and a black, which is the same cost as, the Geist of St. Traft. But the Geist of St. Traft was dumb.
Before anyone types, he meant 1 a white and a blue. We know. Calm down.
Yeah, sorry.
Just heading off the internet before they start.
But the Geist of St. Traft, for anyone that didn't play an original Innistrad, was just dumb. It landed and you're just like, all right, this game is a foregone conclusion, essentially.
Yeah, because it had hexproof, so as long as this controller could get stuff out of the way, that's it.
This is arguably a little easier to work around because it doesn't. Because you have to have something else to put it on that they may go, oh, we'll kill that in response, and B, it doesn't give the creature hexproof, so it's not as obnoxious. On the other hand, you can put this on whatever you want. So, yeah. Yeah, I knew you'd like this / be impressed by this or whatever, Chewy. So
Yeah, that's neat. A little scary, but neat.
that's the appropriate response, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dirk,
Hey,
you haven't said
Dirk.
anything in a hot minute.
Yeah.
You all right? You asleep?
Yeah, sir.
I have a card for Dirk if he doesn't have one in mind.
Is it a
Is it
frog?
the Grolnok, the omnivore?
No, but go ahead and tell us about that one.
So Grolnok the Omnivore is for 2, a green and a blue, is a 3/3 legendary frog. That's rare.
I should hope
Yay!
so.
That's awesome.
Anticlimactic, but let's see what it says. Whenever a
It's
frog
no salamander. Sorry.
if only. Whenever a frog you control attacks, mill 3 cards.
Yourself, yes.
Yeah,
So-
Not your
so
opponent.
There you go.
So
I'm
Mike
getting
Mike just perked up. He's like, "Oh, really?"
yeah. This image is kind of blurry. It's difficult to read.
Yeah, I've clicked on it so that way I can get the better text on it. Whenever a permanent card is put into your graveyard from your library, exile it with a croak counter on it.
Wow.
Okay. You may play lands and cast spells from among cards you own in exile with croak counters on them.
Eh. That's really fun.
It is.
So it eats everything and it can regurgitate it back up at will, huh?
Yeah, so Grolnok is hungry, but he's also willing to help you out if you need something that he's eaten.
Yeah. And that's a really interesting balancing factor because, whenever a frog you control attacks, draw some cards. That's like, wow, that seems really powerful. But first, you got to find some frogs to attack with.
I mean, it is a frog, but
It is.
Okay, now wait a minute. The way this is worded, though, you have to have Grolnok in order to play them.
Correct.
This is not one of those where things with croak counters have this ability to be played. No, it's the card text on Grolnok, the Omnivore, that gives you that ability.
Yes.
So be sure not to let Grolnok die before you use that stuff.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for those that may have forgotten, Kaldheim did not rotate out. Kaldheim is still in standard. Kaldheim has the changeling creatures that are all creature types. That includes frogs, and
I
they're
forgot Kaldheim.
they're primarily in green and blue.
Gosh, yeah, we're
Start-
moving so fast, and I don't play the game
Yeah.
in person, so I don't know what's going on anymore.
So I hate to admit this, but for the last really year and a half, I haven't updated my standard binder, even though I've been getting new cards and playing with Sam for pre-releases, and that's about it, because I don't really necessarily need to know what's in standard. If I need to know what's in standard, Arena will tell me. Ha 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 ha. But I just wanted to bring that up for you brewers out there. You don't have to wait a turn to start milling yourself. You can
I'll be
mill
right
yourself
back.
right away.
Y'all keep talking.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, so Mike, you can lay this down on turn 4 and already have a couple frogs and mill yourself for 9.
Awesome.
I knew you'd like that.
I think you mean draw 9 cards, more like.
No, let's be clear here. You're still milling yourself for 9. When you exile cards, they are exiled face up, correct?
Yes, by default.
Unless they specifically say something else, like, I don't know, face down, I guess would be the terminology.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Default for exile is face up, so everyone can see what's going on. Everyone will be able to see what you got from Grolnok.
Yeah. There was something fairly recent that exiled cards face down. I think a couple things, and it's some of those effects where you exile cards from an opponent's library, so they don't necessarily know what you got.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still play into that surprise factor.
Yeah. And usually, well, I don't know if usually, I guess I don't know the statistics on this. Okay, so sometimes the thing that tells you to exile face down will say, hey, someone's allowed to look at them, either you or someone else or everybody. And sometimes it won't. And if it doesn't give someone specific permission to look at the face down ones, then no one can do it. But we're getting pretty far away from the discussion here.
I got you.
Good old Grolnok.
You okay?
Yeah, I think it was just a gust of wind that made my front door pop like someone was trying to open it.
Okay.
Because when I just walked up and unlocked it and stuck my head out, my head didn't get lopped off. So. That's
good.
Good thing.
I see my delivery has not arrived yet, so let's just keep going.
Wait, what?
Nothing. It's almost Halloween.
Accurate. By the way, for anyone listening to this later, I hope you had a good Halloween, because this won't go up till the 1st. Unless I get it up early, which, let's be honest, that's not going to happen. If there are two things that don't go together, it's Chewy and getting it up early. Wait.
Wait.
All right. Wolfie said demonic bargain looks wild. And yeah.
Yep, it's neat stuff.
It's a version of
Black.
What is it? Demonic consultation? Yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so just checking, see if you were done. So for Tuna Black, it's a rare sorcery. Exile the top 13 cards of your library, then search your library for a card. Put it in your hand, shuffle. So you get a discount on your tutor, but you take a chunk of your library off the top. So there's that tension of, oops, did you accidentally get rid of the one you needed? Hopefully not. Hopefully you still got something good left in there.
Hopefully. But yeah, in Morrow's preview thing, there was something about this card. Hang on. No? I'm skimming through this quickly, but... New legendary creature, no. A nuke, no. Maybe it wasn't in this.
Cool story.
Yeah. Well, Morrow does a preview teaser every set. Things like the following counter types: Bloodline, Croak, Invitation, Judgment, Omen, Slime, and Suspect. And a mechanic that removes something never removed before. Clearly that's Cleave, which is words from the card. A popular and powerful creature card from an Innistrad set gets reprinted. Okay, we know that was Thalia. A new artifact token along the lines of Clue, Food, and Treasure. We know that's Blood. A card that makes red dragon illusion creature tokens with flying and haste. I'm guessing we haven't seen that yet. Stuff like that. And I could have sworn there was something in here that referenced demonic consultation. But apparently not. That was from something else. Because it came up in the Discord somewhere at some point. But anyway. Oh, hi, Alucard. I mean, Soren. There we go. Speaking of which, by invitation only is really bizarre.
I was looking at that one too.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dirk, have you seen that?
So for 3 and 2 white, it's a rare sorcery. Choose a number between 0 and 13. Each player sacrifices that many creatures. I was reading this and going, so they get to choose? That doesn't make sense, no? So You choose the number. So for everyone to can be like, all right, you guys, if you still want to keep playing this game, I'm going to pick a number between 0 and 13, and you got to get rid of that many things. Oh, it's that many creatures.
Yeah.
So it's not things, it's just creatures. Okay.
Yeah, thank goodness. If it was permanents, that would be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The red envelopes guarantee safe passage through the Lurenbrom barrier. Olivia left strict instructions. No invitation, no entry, no exceptions. Yeah. But that's a hell of a wrath effect.
Yeah.
Buh.
I do think it's funny, though.
Oh, yeah. I figured you'd like it, so.
It's one where, like, I don't know if I'll be playing it, but unless there's, like, a certain deck that rolls into. But yeah, that definitely gives invitation to clear the board. Maybe
Yeah.
There's a control deck, but yeah.
It's interesting, and it's a wrath effect that a deck heavy on a bunch of cheap small creatures doesn't mind playing, because if you've got 6 whatevers on the board and your opponent's 4 large creatures are totally cramping your style, just pick the number 4 and you're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Okay, I just saw Wedding Announcement, and I have to read this card. Because it's called Wedding Announcement. So for 2 and a white, it's a rare enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, put an invitation counter on Wedding Announcement. Okay. If you attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn, draw a card. Oh, that's nice. Otherwise, create a 1/1 white human creature token. What? Okay. Then, if Wedding Announcement has 3 or more invitation counters on it, transform it. So, okay, it's a 3-mana enchantment that gets you a card or a creature every turn. Got it. And then it transforms into Wedding Festivity, which just says creatures you control get +1/+1. Which is nice if, you've been making 1/1s.
Yeah, or if you've been getting cards, that means you've had a good enough board to be attacking with at least 2 creatures every turn. So
That is true, yeah. Oh, Donovan May pointed out the human token is the wedding gift. Oh.
What's on their registry? So now I just picture a vampire couple going to Target, and they ask for the little, scanner gun that you get, so you walk around the store and you scan things. But when the customers aren't looking, they're just pointing it at the customers and like going beep. Beep. So,
I cannot believe that Olivia, because it was Olivia, wants a 24-year-old virgin. I can't afford that. Can you afford? Why would you put that on your wedding registry? The balls on her.
Just get her another geriatric.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm... You know what? We're getting her 2 from both of us, okay? Well, yeah.
There we go. We aren't made of virgins.
In this economy.
No.
It's always nighttime here. What do you think those humans are doing? We're a family-friendly show. Scrumping. That's the word. They're scrumping. Whew, okay. Hey, there's some werewolves.
That technical term in a while.
It's because you don't hang out with me enough, Mike.
No.
Oh, okay, wait, real quick. There's a Wedding Invitation, too, which is a common artifact for 2. When Wedding Invitation enters the battlefield, draw a card. Ooh, I like that. In limited? That's gross.
Mm-hmm.
And then tap and sack Wedding Invitation. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Because Invitation grants you passage. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a vampire, it also gains lifelink until end of turn. Oh, I really like that as a common
Yeah, that's neat stuff.
artifact. For limited, essentially. That's really good. Because what are the 2 things that you want in limited? You want, like, cheap, easy card draw because it's so easy to run out of cards. And it's so easy to get into a board stall in limited that you want ways to get your things through.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, evasion is so important.
Right.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Oh, and it's a story spotlight card. How adorable. Also, chat did point out that Edgar and Olivia do look very happy in this picture. Like for real, not like they're, faking.
In which picture?
The wedding announcement.
Is that Edgar and Olivia?
Is it?
That's
No,
not
that's not Olivia.
that's not them at all.
Oh, whoever they are, they look very happy.
Yeah.
It's some vampire couple that just got.
They got the announcement. Okay.
Yeah, that is not.
I don't actually know what Edgar Markov looks like
at all. So he looks old. Like,
I mean, I
really
look old.
Yeah, but I don't see a picture of him here.
So do
but
we have
sure
a picture of him here anywhere? No, it doesn't
nope.
look like it. Oh,
He's been on cards before. He was on a commander card, but you were saying something about a werewolf?
Yeah, there's a what's it called? Volatile Arsonist here. Who wants to read a werewolf?
I haven't actually read this card, so I will read it on the spot. So, Volatile Arsonist.
Oh, that's what Edgar looks like. Okay, thank you.
For 3 and 2 red, this is a 4/4. It's a mythic human werewolf. So, for 5, it's a 4/4. It has menace and haste.
Ooh,
so that's a beatdown. Whenever it attacks, it deals 1 damage to each of up to 1 target creature, up to 1 target player, and or up to 1 target planeswalker. Oh, so you can do 1 to each of those.
That's cool. Okay.
Jeez. And it's daybound. Flips to Dire Strain Anarchist.
Yeah.
He's got more fire. 5/5 with menace and haste. Just in case he comes in and it's nighttime already. Whenever it attacks, it deals 2 damage to each of up to 2 damage to each of up to 1 target creature, up to 1 target player, and up to 1 target planeswalker. That's a lot of damage. I mean, the front side of this is good enough, and the back side is just disgusting.
Huh. Yeah, okay, this is the card. I saw someone on Twitter saying, is menace, haste, and some pings enough for a mythic these days? And I don't remember who it was, but I didn't know what card they were talking about. Clearly, they were talking about this one. And
I mean,
menace, haste, and some pings is a lot.
That menace, haste, pings, repeatable pings on a 4/4 for 5 that can turn into a 5/5 that turns into like a ton of damage. Yes, it's more than enough. What else do you want?
Yeah, because the pings, even on the front side, it means that, there's not going to be much chump blocking going on.
No. And the 1 damage to a planeswalker is going to keep them off of whatever ability they want.
Yeah.
The
again, backside says, when this attacks, shock up to 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that seems good to me, right?
We've been doing Mythic Inscription for a while now. I'm just not sure how high is your threshold that wouldn't be. Maybe you don't consider it all that exciting, but if you're in red, this is everything you want.
Yeah, if you think of rarity as only a thing that matters in limited, I want this in limited.
Yeah. You know, and a general criticism for creatures that cost this much or more is that to be competitive, they kind of need to have an impact on the board
Yeah.
immediately because of the, you know, or some kind of protection for themselves. Because if they wait around too long, they're just going to die. Having haste is a big deal. Having menace is a big deal.
Having haste with this attack trigger is a huge deal.
Well, gee, I guess I can't block because I don't have 2 blockers anymore. Or it would be stupid for me to block with this, 2/2 and a 1/1. Because you blew up the other thing I was going to block with. So, I'm not criticizing this person. I'd just be curious what they thought it would take.
Anyway. Yeah, I like this card. So what else we got?
So, there's a card. I asked Dirk a while ago if he had a card in mind, and he talked about the frog. Dirk, have you seen the white enchantment Sigarda's Summons?
Dirk, are you
here?
Maybe he walked away for a minute.
Maybe he walked away. Well, I was going to bring that one up.
I had myself muted for some odd reason. I think I was just clearing my throat. So I looked at this one earlier, but I didn't fully read it. But Sigarda's Summons for 4 and 2 white. It's a rare enchantment. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have base power and toughness 4/4. Have flying, and are angels in addition to their other types.
I just know how much you like +1/+1 counters, so I thought, Dirk could do something with this.
I have to splash white into the Simic deck.
Well, also you like Arcbound, right? And all the Arcbound creatures are generally base 0/0. So think about if they, weren't.
True.
Like your base 0/0 with 3 +1/+1 counters on it is a 3/3, but it's a 7/7 if it's a base 4/4. That's math.
Math is hard.
It's interesting how it works with training, because after a creature trains once, suddenly it's a big boss angel, and now it's really easy for it to train other stuff that haven't trained yet.
That then become big boss angels.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gross. Big boss angels. I don't know why I like that, but I do. Well, there's only another small handful of cards here. We've got 2 with exploit that I've seen. The Overcharged Amalgam, which is a 2 blue rare zombie horror. It's a 3/3 with flash. That's important. And flying. And exploit. And when it exploits a creature, counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. Oh, this is what Wolfie brought up earlier.
Yeah.
What is it? It's disallow, is that? Yeah, that's what he said. Huh. That seems good. If you're into the blue thing, which I'm not.
Sometimes I dabble in blue.
You're a monster.
Yep.
And then the other one is much more simple. 2 and a black for the Fell Stinger, which is a 3/2 uncommon zombie scorpion with death touch.
Hey, Mike, it's a small creature with death touch.
But it's not the common one, so
it's fine. And it has exploit. When it exploits a creature, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Ho 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 ho.
I don't think I care for this art.
No, you do not.
no.
For anyone who's listening to the audio version and hasn't seen this yet, it's a big-ass scorpion that seems to have downed a horse.
Yeah.
Look at my horse. My horse was amazing. Oh, and it looks like one of its pinchers has ripped one of the legs off or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's dark.
It's pretty
Yeah. It's pretty gruesome. Anybody that likes horses is gonna be, And then, like as a kid, one of the scorpion from Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of freaked me out a bit. So I'm not really loving this, like, at all.
Donovan Bain in the chat said, horse corpse, of course.
Oh.
It's cool, though. He put a sad face next to it.
Yeah.
That makes up for it.
Oh, that's awesome. And terrible and awesome.
And there's a pump spell, and I think there's a pump spell and like a vampire, and that's about it.
Yeah, pump spell is +2/+2 and trample for a green.
A green, yeah.
Which, I mean, that's good.
That seems pretty good, yeah.
The best part about it, though, is the fact that the art is a giant snail, and the flavor text is, "Run! It's coming for us! Eventually!" Yaster, Having Gold Shopkeeper. Yeah, there's, which vampire were you talking about? Because there are actually a couple we've missed.
The black and red one?
Anji?
I guess the Maid of Dishonor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Angie, the Maid of Dishonor, for 2, a black and a red, legendary vampire, 4/5 for 4 mana. Does not have flying. So, whenever Angie, Maid of Dishonor, and or one or more other vampires enter the battlefield under your control, create a blood token. This ability triggers only once each turn, so no matter how many vampires you get, you 1 blood token. Pay 2 and sacrifice another creature or a blood token. Each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. Feels really efficient for its mana.
Yeah.
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 I really like this card. Like a lot. Because anything that says each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life is just a card that immediately makes me go, oh? Sadly, it doesn't really work super well without at least a couple other vampires to back it up.
But we know there are plenty of other ways to get blood.
That is true. Blood. There's the Dominating Vampire. All we have is a showcase version. But it's a 3/3 rare vampire for 1 red. And when it enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of vampires you control until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste. So it's a 3/3 with a little
Threaten.
Well, there was something that was threatened with a mana. No, that was a control magic with a mana restriction or a cost restriction. But yeah, it's a 3/3 that comes with a little threaten effect, which I like. What was that, Mike?
We're talking about Threads of Disloyalty.
Yeah, that's the one that's in my head. Yeah, I was gonna say it's from Kamigawa. I can't remember. So that's cool. How's no one brought up Change of Fortune yet?
Just haven't got around to it.
Oh my God, Mike, what's a Change of Fortune?
Something about it.
So for 3 and a red, it's a rare sorcery. Discard your hand, then draw a card for each card you've discarded this turn.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice. And not Wheel of Fortune.
Yep. Should probably use something in Strixhaven to copy this.
Oh, that's nice.
Ooh.
I was just thinking this is not in standard with the what was that, the cycling deck from there was a cycling deck for a while from the Monster World one with imprint with there's a red white spell that you dealt damage equal to the number of cards with cycling in your graveyard. It was kind of obnoxious, honestly. So I'm glad that's not in standard with this, because cycling makes you discard. So, but yeah, I like Mike's idea of copying this. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now to explain that, you discard your hand. So let's say you've got, I don't know, 4 cards in hand. So you discard your hand, and you draw 4 cards. And then the copy happens. So then you discard your 4 cards. Now you draw 8 because you've discarded 4 cards twice, which is 8 this turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
In case anyone's like, I don't get it. That's why. And that's good thinking, Mike. Look at you. Look at you. Oh, chair. All right. There's only a couple cards left. That on Mythic Spoiler. I'm sure there are more, but there's Geistlight Snare, which is an uncommon instant for 2 and a blue. It costs 1 less to cast if you control a spirit. It also costs 1 less to cast if you control an enchantment. Huh.
Cool.
And it says counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. So it could be a good old I don't want to say it. It makes me hurt.
Force Spike?
Mana Leak.
No, Mana Leak. Yeah, Mike said it.
Someone had to say it.
Someone had to say it. Buh. But yeah, that is cool. It works with, essentially, it says, are you playing stuff with Disturb? If not, can you fake it? And then I think there's only like 1 card left. Where is it?
Yeah, I literally won.
Do what?
I said, yeah, literally won. That's
okay,
the Savior of Allenbach.
There he is. Okay, what's he do?
He's cool. He's, for 1 white, a 1/2 human soldier who is mythic and has training. So, as a reminder, if he attacks with someone bigger, he gets a +1/+1 counter. Whenever Savior of Allenbach trains, exile up to 1 other target creature from the battlefield or creature card from a graveyard. And when Savior of Allenbach leaves the battlefield, put the exiled cards onto the battlefield under their owner's control.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross. So you can, like, store up your stuff from your graveyard to get back.
Yeah. And it takes time to store up a lot, but that's good. That's some balance to the card. We can't get too crazy here.
I mean, you really only need to store 1 thing for this to suddenly become worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Or you just get rid of something over there, and he's just an O-ring effect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Or multiple things over there, so that he can't be blocked efficiently.
I mean, he can only
it's
train
reminiscent
once a turn.
Of... Yeah,
it's reminiscent
once
of
a
that,
turn.
Yeah. It's reminiscent of that big mythic angel from original Innistrad block that I'm blanking on right now.
I can see it.
The cards didn't go back to the battlefield; they went to people's hands. But
that was one where it exiled 3 creatures from the battlefield, and or graveyards, and when it died, yeah, yeah.
Oh, Angel of Serenity. Donovan Bain said that's the one.
There we go. Awesome.
Yeah, man. and that costs 6 or 7. Something obnoxious. Using the word obnoxious. 7.
It was still worth it. It was
And,
still
totally. Yeah. And that is everything that's available today
on Mythic Spoiler. There might be more elsewhere, but we don't care. Now, there is one other thing we should look at real quick because it's weird. And here, let me send you guys a link. They're doing another branding thing.
Yeah, I saw this.
It's sort of like Godzilla. They're doing a Dracula series.
Yeah.
neat.
Where
I really like this one.
Yeah. Different cards have just like the Godzilla cards, they've got a different name and different art, but they still have the name of the regular version of the card on it, and all the text is the same. So, for instance, it's the Dracula series. So Sorin the Mirthless becomes Count Dracula, but he's still legendary planeswalker Sorin because this is totally a cosmetic change.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so Sorin is Count Dracula. Olivia Crimson Bride becomes Sisters of the Undead. Hey girls, hey. And the Volderan Bloodcaster is Dracula Lord of Blood, or Dracula Lord of Bats.
I love this art. I really like this art.
Yeah, like, wait, which one?
Both of the flip card side.
Yeah, like this is definitely like Castlevania Final Boss.
Mm-hmm.
Look for Dracula Lord of Bats and Lord of Blood. I think that's neat.
And
what?
And Castle Dracula.
Oh, and Volderan Estate becomes Castle Dracula. Okay. Is this all of them, or are there going to be more?
It says up above there's 18.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, we've seen now, I guess, 4.
Yeah.
Because I think in this other article, it's the same. It is the same 4. Okay.
Yeah. I gotta say, as a kid, vampires were always my favorite monsters because they weren't the beasts like the werewolves. They weren't mindless like Frankenstein's monster. They carried themselves well and they wore cool outfits, and they're a bit like the Supermen of vampires in that they have all these extra abilities. They're a bit OP, honestly. So I always liked them, and of course, Dracula was always the iconic. I read Bram Stoker's Dracula probably when I was like 8 or 9, and so big fan of this, I gotta say. So Brian's stamp of approval. I know you've been waiting for it.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. Now, like when they did it with Godzilla, it was new and different. But now, like, there's an entire wing of Magic that's going to be based on this. So doing it as cosmetics in a set just seems like more ways to sell fancy boosters, which, I mean, is all it ever was, but now it's more blatantly so.
Yeah. The thing I like about doing it this way, and like with the Godzilla versus like the secret lair drops for Stranger Things and The Walking Dead, is that if you want this card and this effect and you don't care about the cosmetics, you don't have to have this card. You can just have the regular one.
Yeah.
If you do care, but unlike whereas the others, those are unique cards with unique abilities. But if you care about this one, then you can go kind of look for it. If you really want the Dracula version, you can go find it. And hopefully there's going to be enough out there on the secondary market that you can support your local game store and buy the single instead of having to buy a secret lair drop or something like that. So I'm more a fan of, if you're going to do this way than the other. But that's just
that
my
is true.
opinion.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that.
Yeah.
It's the mechanically, what's the word? Mechanically unique cards that
Yes.
that bother me in Secret Lair drops. But
Agreed.
we've had that rant many times on this show and on Monday Night Magic, so I will spare you all for that.
It is after 10. I know I'm tired. I'm sure Dirk has to go. There is one other card we really, really should talk about. We really should. Dirk.
Yes.
Will you take my wedding ring if I offer it to you?
Absolutely.
Great. If you scroll down on this article that he's given us the link to, past where it says set boosters, there's a card called Wedding Ring. And this is
this card.
The one that says, for 2 and 2 white, it's a mythic artifact. When Wedding Ring enters the battlefield, if it was cast, target opponent creates a token that's a copy of it. Whenever an opponent who controls an artifact named Wedding Ring draws a card during their turn, you draw a card.
'Cause you're married.
Yep.
Whenever an opponent who controls an artifact named Wedding Ring gains life during their turn, you gain that much life.
And remember, because they have a copy of this, and
they also get the effects.
They also get the effects. So...
Because you're married.
So Dirk, during our commander game, I really don't like Chewie. I really don't like Mike. Let's just get married and, you know, let's take these guys down together as husband and husband. What do you say?
Absolutely.
Great.
This would be great in a two-headed giant game.
No, because it says opponent.
It says opponent.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. But
I had that thought as well, which is why I had that ready to rattle off.
There you go.
The thing that I don't like about this card, so this is not a Crimson Vow card. This is a Crimson Vow Commander card.
Mm-hmm. But
it's not in the Crimson Vow Commander decks.
What?
It's only in the Crimson Vow set boosters.
Yeah,
because they desperately want everyone to buy every damn type of booster, whether it's right for them or not.
Yep.
So there are 8 cards that are only in... They're commander cards, but they're not in the commander decks. They're only in the set boosters. And this is the worst kind of FOMO crap that makes me hate what Wizards of the Coast has become.
Oh, I'm definitely not in support of it. I bring it up only because I love the design of the card.
Oh, the design of the card is brilliant. Yeah, like I dig it.
Why didn't they just put it in the set?
Why didn't they what?
Why didn't they just put it in the set?
Because they want you to buy the set.
They want you to buy the set boosters. Yeah.
Because they want to be able to say that set boosters are a success.
Yeah.
All data to the contrary.
Donovan Baines said, artifact copies are pretty frequent, so polygamy is very easy to pull off. It's like, you know what? I'm going to copy your wedding ring. And Mike's like, well, yeah, well, I'm going to copy your copy of the wedding ring. And now we're all married. Man, that would definitely speed up a game of Commander.
What is this, Utah?
Wow. Thank you.
I'd be like, okay, everybody ready to draw 12 cards? I sure am.
I'm looking at my deck going, Mike, could you only draw 10? And Mike's like, no.
No.
Oh, so if there's a Howling Mine out.
Yeah, everyone's drawn all the cards forever.
Oh my gosh.
The only thing that slows us down is it says during their turn. That's the only reason this doesn't go infinite. Because otherwise you would just see each other draw and you're like, well, I draw. Well, that means I draw. Well, that means I draw. But it only... Oh. So, again, one that maybe if you... Maybe buy a single from your local game store and support them. If you like this card.
But anyway, I dig it.
Yeah.
And more fancy crap, and yeah, whatever. Okay, let's get off of that.
All
so, that is what we have right thus far for Crimson Vow. I'm sure there will be just more than we can talk about by the time we do another show, which should be next week.
Yep.
So, yeah. What do we have to wrap it up there, dorks?
For final thoughts, work has been busy for me, but I now have a functioning toilet. Those are not related.
Crap. Get it? Okay.
I don't think I actually said this on the mana pool, but no, I think I did mention at the end of the last episode. Essentially, went to go replace a toilet, found the wood underneath was very rotted, and it turned into instead of a half an hour job, turned into over a week trying to find lumber and all that sort of stuff. But it's done. It's good. I'm enjoying talking to these guys. I'm enjoying playing some D&D with some of these guys. Honestly, I've enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Did very much, I didn't take time for a final thought last week. Really enjoyed the Magic RPG episode. Certainly hope all the listeners did as well. And hint, hint, hopefully it won't be a long, long time before we get back to that. Certainly not like months and months. Hopefully. Otherwise,
also, once I'm done with this rush of getting this initial batch of Eternal Darkness videos up on YouTube, I'm gonna take the first, I think it's 3 or 4 RPG episodes that aren't on YouTube. I'm gonna put them on YouTube, and I'm gonna make an RPG episode playlist.
Nice.
For easier consumption, because these are spread out across. When did you say we started? 2018?
Something like that. No, it might have been before that. 2016?
Oh, God.
No. It's been a while. It's 16 episodes, right? And you're right. They tend to be spread out. So
yeah, for easy consumption, I'm going to make a YouTube playlist, but I've got to get all this other stuff out of the way first. But once I'm done with those and I've got a minute, because turning those into YouTube videos isn't intensive. It just takes time that I don't have at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just to tack on to Brian's final thought there.
Yeah. And I realized a couple minutes ago, there's something I need to get ready for tomorrow. So, so this has been lovely, and I'm going to go and jump off so I'm not up past midnight, hopefully. And I will talk to you fine gentlemen later.
Night, B.
Good night.
Good night.
I'll go ahead and do my final thought as well. Trevor and I continue to play Pokemon Sword and Shield. He got his report card recently, and he had a very nice time with his grades. And so it was, you you get to decide what game you want. Essentially, is what his reward is for his grades. And so he is going to get another Pokemon game.
Oh, which one?
Dungeon Master, something like that.
What?
It's one I've heard of it. It's where it's like dungeon crawler, dungeon something or other.
Mystery dungeon?
Mystery dungeon, yes.
What is that?
I don't know much about it, other than you essentially get to pick you are a Pokemon and you go and you do stuff.
Well, there you go.
So that was his choice and all. Layton had really good grades as well, and I'm not sure what his reward is as of this time. I think that's something that Chelsea and I still need to figure out what it is. Penny looks like her grade, she did pretty well, but we have a parent conference with her teacher because it's not that she's not doing the work, it's that she is incredibly disruptive in class. Go figure.
I feel that.
From my 5-year-old going on 15.
I definitely, that was me. I was disruptive in class. Geez, like all of elementary school. Mainly because I was bored, if I'm being honest.
Hers is that yeah. It's not that, I don't think it's that she's bored. It's just that she just, when she wants to do something, she just has really bad impulsive problems. Where you give her something to do, she's working on something, but then she goes, I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to go do this instead. And
Yeah.
yeah, she just can't finish and focus on what she's supposed to be doing. So, like I said, the teacher asked for a conference, and we were going to conference with her anyway, because I really just want to know what she is doing in the classroom and what we need to be working on at home with her.
Dirk's
So we
teacher
know her
sense kicked
behavior is
in.
not great. And it's nothing that we haven't worked on at home with diligence. But we have no doubt that once she's at school, that she comes home and is like, so-and-so was doing this, and so-and-so is doing this, and going, oh yeah, so I guess no doubt that you've done something to disrupt the balance in the force, haven't you, child? So, but yes, that is the final thoughts from me. Enjoyed the RPG episode. Look forward to doing that here soon as well. And with that, I will talk to all of you later.
Nice, Eric.
Night, guys.
All right. All right. I guess that's me then, huh?
I guess, yeah, that was more about Dirk's kids than I really needed to know, but you know, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Listeners are like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I did see Dune over the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a movie theater. It was awesome. You know, that's it's amazing that it can take 2.5 hours to do all that, and there's still a fair amount of things that get left out. But that was you know, it was a long book, and there was a ton of stuff in it that's really just background things that you can kind of go around if you just want to hit the important story stuff. Yeah, Ashley and I went to see it. She wasn't familiar with the source material, but if, you know, I had read all the books when I was in middle school and high school, and the movie did a good job of keeping the important to know content in there. Like there were several points. I think I said this before. Was it in Odds and Ends? Yeah.
I think it was in the pre-show, yeah.
When there were several points in the movie where, like right after she had leaned over to ask me a question about something, someone went ahead and took care of, you know, covering that in the next beat before they moved on to the next thing. So they did a good job. There were a few things where, you know, there were questions that just had to wait until after we left the theater. And so we spent quite a bit of time talking about that. And it had been long enough since I had read anything that there were some things where I just like, I got to go look at the Wikipedia page. I don't remember right now.
Yeah, people ask me, like, was it good? I'm like, I am not the good person to ask for that because I love the book. I love the David Lynch movie. I love the sci-fi miniseries. Like,
yeah.
And I love this. And I think this one was my favorite, which is saying something because I really like the other two versions. So, like, maybe don't ask me. But yes, it was good.
Yeah. And it's interesting, while I was reading up on some other stuff on Wikipedia and such, I started to get the impression that I think some of the things I had heard, like back in middle school and high school, about the David Lynch version and all the different cuts of it and this like mythical super long ass cut, those might have been like leftover rumors and whatever about Alejandro Jodorowsky's failed attempt at adapting it.
Oh, yeah?
Because David Lynch's final draft of the screenplay was going to be like 3 hours long, but the studio was like, no, it needs to be 2. And the producers also came in and like refilmed a couple scenes and added some voiceover stuff, and David Lynch wasn't cool with that. So he basically disavowed the movie because he wasn't given final cut privileges. But no, it was like Alejandro Jodorowsky who had like, a 10-hour draft of the script and all this other crazy stuff.
Jesus.
Hmm.
Tell me, Mike, is that a small number?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was getting pretty extravagant. Like, I think they had like a $9 or $10 million budget, and they had already spent 2 of it in pre-production. And the producer was like, "Nah, dude, you gotta stop. That's it. I'm cutting you off."
Ugh. Okay then.
Yeah.
I also saw Dune. Mom and I went to see it yesterday because it turns out yesterday was the last day it was in standard theater, and today was the last day it was in IMAX at the theater that we like to go to. It's like, so that didn't last long. But with it also being on HBO Max, that's understandable, I guess.
Mm-hmm. What is that? It's just like a week and a half or something? No, not even a whole week.
Did it just come out last week?
Didn't? Yeah, I thought so.
Wow, that's awful. But luckily, Dune 2 was already announced. So that's why we went to see it in the theater, was to contribute so we get part 2. Because I don't know if I sort of avoided all the marketing for it because I was going to see it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't know if they marketed that it was only half the story.
No, they didn't make it a point to come out and say that.
Yeah.
Like, I saw it in, like articles about it, but I don't remember seeing it in any, like, trailers or other.
Yeah. Like, I saw it on Twitter. Someone was like,
stuff.
well, that was certainly exactly half the story. And I went, what? Huh. But, yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It kept the pace going. It didn't feel like a 2.5-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I didn't have any times where I was like, oh my God, get on with it. Which, as much as I love the David Lynch movie, especially the extended cut, there's so many periods of, okay, just freaking, all right, yes, Jesus, do something. Like, and this didn't have that at all. Like, it flowed from thing to thing, and yeah. I also like that it's a white savior story, but it's a fake white savior story, and the white savior knows it. Like, oh. Of course, he's also going to exploit it. So that's spoilers for the second movie. He's going to exploit the fact that it's a fake white savior story and become the white savior. But still, they have at least nodded to the fact that this is all made up.
Yeah, that's interesting how, and that's preserved from the original book, because it's like,
True.
Yeah, there's this idea of, the mythical destined hero, but like you said, the central people know it is actually a myth, to some extent, and they're using that to their advantage.
Yeah. But let's see. Other than Dune, what have I got going on? Oh, I played Eternal Darkness finally.
Awesome.
The videos for that started going up today with episode 1, and I'm super excited. Like,
did you get through the whole thing?
Oh God, no. I got through Maximilian's story in the first stream.
Okay, awesome. That's a good one.
Yeah, I made it to the portly dude, and got done with that, and then did the running around after that, and then I stopped.
That's a good place to stop.
Well, it was 5 hours in, so yeah, it was a very good place to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, we're gonna stop now because it's late. But yeah, I was afraid that the story, I knew the story would hold up because it's a Lovecraftian story, but without the racism. And I knew the story would hold up, but I was afraid that like the graphics and the gameplay would be, because it was originally a Nintendo 64 game that got moved to GameCube, and the graphics weren't exactly the best at the time. But luckily, the emulator has an upscale function, so the cutscenes still look like, you know, crap.
She was like, enhance.
Yeah, but the gameplay actually looks pretty good, and I didn't have any problem at all with the gameplay, at all.
Good.
Like the actual running around and killing zombies and casting spells and whatnot is fine. And the hub world of the Roivas Mansion, which my friend Casey pointed out is a Metroidvania, I was like, oh my god, it is. That works well. All the spooks are still there, and they still work. The first time a door in the mansion knocked, I almost jumped out of my skin. Like, you can't really see it on the stream, but what happened was my eyes got real big and my eyebrows shot up, and I just went, and I froze. And I went, okay. Like, because I forgot that was a thing. And I've realized that's why the maintenance guy here, that's why his knocks scare the hell out of me. I always crack the joke, damn, you knock like you the damn police. But no, he knocks like he's a ghost in Eternal Darkness. It's the same cadence. Bam, 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 bam.
Oh, wow.
So when he knocks, it awakens this like primal fear that I've had since, you know, college. But yeah, all of the sanity effects are still good and still get me. And the one jump scare, of course, always gets everybody. I was waiting for it, so it didn't get me.
Yeah.
But then immediately after it didn't get me, I walked towards a door and it knocked and it made me jump. So, that's karma. Scott clipped it. He's like, yep, that's instant karma after making fun of people for getting jump scared. It's like, shut up. But so yeah, those videos are going up. I was originally not going to put it on YouTube because in my brain it was really long and chapters are really long and it would be awful, but no, they're not bad at all. So, that'll be going up on YouTube. Gothic and I did finish It Takes Two. Those videos will be going up on YouTube once I'm done with this first round of Eternal Darkness videos because, you know, it's Halloween. So if you're waiting on those, apologies, but you should totally watch Eternal Darkness. Like, yeah, the thing I was going to say, Eternal Darkness is such a great game, and the rights and everything are all wrapped up in legal nonsense that it's unlikely that the game will ever get re-released to anything ever. Like, there's never been a port.
Yeah.
And so, really, if you want to experience it, you have to emulate it, which once you get up to the GameCube era, emulation becomes kind of more of a hassle than it's worth sometimes. Or having, you know, original hardware, which that's even more of a hassle. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be like sharing this with people, one, that have played it before but don't remember specifics like me, and two, people that don't know this game, because like it's a horror game, but it's not like a jump scare horror game, except for the one famous jump scare that'll be in episode 5 of my playthrough. But other than that, it's not really a jump scare game. It's more of a creeping dread game.
Yeah.
And even that, it's creeping dread for your character, not really for you. Like some of the sanity effects, like I said, the knocking on the door the first time that happened, and then a couple other times after that, made me jump. But that's because I was, you know, running around not paying attention. Then all of a sudden you hear, bam, 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 bam. Jesus, God, okay, got me. But it's not like, you know, the awful, you know, jump scare and the hit on the violin that goes with it, you know. Like the whole string section goes, you know, like in bad horror movies. So if you're like, I don't like the scary games, well, what kind of scary games don't you like? Because if it's jump scares, this is probably a good one to watch if it's the jump scares you don't like. Because like I said, there's really only the one.
Yeah, there's the big one. There are some other surprises like, but not the big jump scare.
But those are like,
I really didn't expect that.
yeah, those are like gameplay, like something jumps out at you while you're rounding a corner, which that happens in non-horror video games. So that's not, I don't count that. When I say jump scare, I mean like an intentional thing that the developer did to make you go, ah! Like, sorry for that being so loud and picking the mic. But yeah, like I said, it's a Lovecraft story that you're playing, and I love it. Especially the Portly Dude story. Where the whole chapter is literally a Lovecraft story. It's even called The Lurking Horror. Which is such a Lovecraft story. May the rats eat your eyes! It's such a good game. So yeah. Yay. But enough gushing about that. We should stop the show. Which means I should go to Patreon. Haha. So you can go to patreon.com/themanapool, become a lifeguard, which gets you early access. You could watch the first 2, 3, I forget how many I've actually gotten completely posted on YouTube. I think the first 3 are up. And there's only going to be 5 in this initial batch, so But yeah, youtube.com/themanapool, the name of the show. Become a lifeguard. And let me see here. Let me thank our mythic lifeguards at, I don't know, this order. The Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine, Al, Aleph Cat, ALK Alters, Andrew Hunt, Cody Buckowing, Connor Kennedy, Jake Jansons, Jason Doan, Jason Kaus, Jeff Spencer, John Parker, Casey, Kim Ho, Beardy Man, Mr. Dr. Lewis, Gothic, Scroll, PJ McMullen, Scuzzo, Stan, Team You Hellas Are You, and Violet Moon. Thank you all so very much, and to all of our lifeguards at every tier. Of course, we could not... I won't tell you what I just did, but it was really embarrassing and painful.
I have a guess.
Do what?
I have a guess.
Ow. Okay. You know, your guess is probably right. All right, I'm okay. What was I saying? Right. We're gonna go now, because, good lord. So, this has been the Manapool number 636, looking at Crimson Vow. Let us know what you think would be a better word for cleave. So, thank you all so very much for joining us, and, don't forget your invitation. For God's sake, don't forget your invitation.